Good morning, world. It's 2:30 in the morning. I am happy because today I get my check. So when I wake up, I'll have my check will arrive in the mail. And what I'll do is the moment I wake up today around like 2, 3 o'clock in the evening and afternoon, I'll make my full video right away. And then after that, I'll take my shower and I'll go to the store and get my beer and smokes, maybe some Subway. I might get 12 beers today. 12 beers. Drink my six, watch my video, watch some Brad, and then I'll drink my six and I'll watch the Rings of Power finale. I'm on episode 8. I'm on the finale of Rings of Power. I think the show is okay, but it's not great. The show has problems, obviously. You find out later on how you get the history of how the mountain got its name Mordor in episode 7, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What shall we call the this place? And like Mordor. Yeah, that's how they came up with the name Mordor. I don't know if it's accurate with the appendices, but I don't know. The show obviously has problems. Rings of Power. All the fans who don't like the show, I see where they're coming from. The show has problems. It has pacing issues. Like there's not really much action. The show is very slow. You know what I'm saying? The show can be a little boring in some sections. Yeah, the show has pacing issues, but the potential's there for it to be a good show. The writers just have to regroup and do something good for season 2. I don't think the show's terrible, but it's not great. The show has problems, obviously. So guys like Overlord DVD and Midnight Edge, if they hate the show, I understand where they're coming from. The show has problems. It's not even close to Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. It's not even the same league, obviously. But what? But the showrunners and the writers can regroup and they can write a good script for season 2. Hopefully, they come up with a better script for season 2. You know what I'm saying? As there's some shows who start off not that great, and then later on the seasons pick up and becomes even better. The show becomes even better. You know what I'm saying? There's some shows that start off good and they end bad. There's some shows that start off pretty bad but they end off really good. So hopefully for season 2, I'm pretty much done the whole season. I'm gonna watch the finale today. Hopefully, what Amazon can regroup and what they write a better script for season 2. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm only gonna make a 1 hour video, guys. I'm tired. I don't feel like making a full video, but I promise when I wake up, I'll make a full video. I get my check today, so I'll make a full video. Then around like I'll wake up around 3:30, 4. I'll make my full videos and I'll take my shower. I'll go to the store around 6 and I'll get my beer and smokes and some Subway. I'll get some because I'll get some Subway for myself. Subway's healthy. Get a nice teriyaki sub at Subway. Because the Subway's right next to the depot where I buy my beer and smokes. So I'll go to Subway and get my nice like teriyaki sub at Subway. Obviously, yeah, I'm only gonna make a 1 hour video, and I'm gonna end the video here. Yeah, Ivan, what was your favorite episode of Rings of Power? My favorite one so far was episode 6, the one when they had that battle in the village, wherever it is, when the orcs are in a village. That's my favorite episode. When you get that the ash, you get the what? You get the burning smoke from the mountains. You get this flood, and yeah, that was probably my favorite. The mini war, whatever it is, that's probably my favorite episode of Rings of Power. Whereas the other ones were a little slow when they weren't. It is Rings of Power has obviously pacing issues. The story is not the season's not paced very well. It's very slow. Not much happens, and then yeah, hopefully season 2 they come up with a better script, and you get a better season, obviously. As I predicted, I told you. I told you Rings of Power is probably not. My prediction is Rings of Power will split the fan base, and it did. The critics like it, but the audience don't like it. Hence, it split the fan base, obviously. You know what I'm saying? It has a low audience score, but it has a very high. It has a higher critic score. Hence, it's split. It's pretty much split the fan base, like Last Jedi. I made a prediction. I was right. I said Rings of Power. I said I don't believe Rings of Power will be the next Game of Thrones, but I don't think it'll be terrible. I don't think it'll be great either. I think it'll be an okay show, and I was right. Rings of Power is an okay. In my opinion, Rings of Power is a pretty good show. I don't know, 5.8 out of 10 show, 6 out of 10 show. It's not terrible, but it's not great. It has issues. It has problems. It's not Game of Thrones. You know what I'm saying? It's not. You know what I'm saying? But it's a pretty good show. It's a pretty good show. It's not terrible. The potential's there for it to be a really really good show. They just have to write a good script for season two. You know what I'm saying? For season two, hopefully season two is better and you get a better story. Obviously with all the characters. You know what I'm saying? You get a better story with all the characters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You get a better story with all the characters. Right? Yeah. And all those actors on Rings of Power are going to be sending in their resumes too, their reels too for Zanus too. That's been crazy. All those actors who are in Rings of Power are going to be sending in their reels too for Zanus too. They all want to be in that movie so bad. Yeah, man. My company's better in Hollywood, and I pay more in Hollywood, obviously. But go on, before I talk about this topic. Before I talk about Zanus, obviously, the one who really the one actor who really steals the show is the Elrond actor. I think he does an amazing job in imitating Elrond. The way he even acts, like his facial expressions, the way he acts. I think he does a very good job. You know what I'm saying? Trying to copy the way Hugo Weaving acts in Lord of the Rings. Yeah, he does a very good job. I think he's a very good actor for Elrond. Who's your favorite character? My favorite character is that Black Elf. I like him a lot. I think he's pretty. I think he's pretty cool. The Black Elf actor, whatever his name is. I forget his name. You know what I'm saying? I told you I'm pretty stupid. You know what I'm saying? I forget the guy's name, but I like him the best. He's like my favorite character in the story, and I like Elrond too. Elrond's a good character too. Whereas all the other actors, I don't really like him as much. But I like the Black Elf, the mulatto Black Elf guy, right? Him, I like him, and I like Elrond, the Elrond actor. I think those two guys are my favorite actors in the story. I like those two actors. And I think Galadriel's pretty good too, but I like those two actors the most in Rings of Power. But yeah, man, even those actors who are in Rings of Power are going to be sending in their reels too, man, for Xanos. It's something crazy, man. All the working actors will be sending in their reels. Because those guys don't make the kind of money I'm paying them for Xanos. The amount of money I'm paying pretty minor roles is not how much those guys make in Hollywood. Because chances are the Galadriel actor makes maybe 800K. She signed maybe a 600, 700, 800,000 contract for the first season, and she got for a couple seasons, and she might get a raise. And the other actors make like 500, 400K, 350, 300, 250K. So I'm saying they don't make as much money in Hollywood compared to my company. And that's how much I'm paying minor roles. If you get paid 350K, it's a nice fat paycheck, obviously, but like in Hollywood, that's a shitty paycheck. 350K is a lot of money, obviously, but in Hollywood, 350K is a shitty paycheck, obviously. As the A-list actors make their millions in Hollywood, sometimes. As B-list actors, they don't make millions in Hollywood. They make their couple hundred grand. The only ones who can bargain for their millions are like the stars of the show. They can borrow for they can get raises. They can borrow for a million, million five, even 2 million for a television show if it's very popular. There's exceptions where they can even make more money. Like Norman Reedus, I heard makes $16 million for The Walking Dead. I heard. So there's exceptions where B-list actors can make a lot of money. Norman Reedus is pretty much an A-list television star, right? Because television stars can also be A-list actors too. There's exceptions, obviously, but most of them are B-list actors. The only ones who are like A-list actors are the ones who are like who are like, get paid a lot of money. Like Norman Reedus is pretty much an A-list television star because he gets paid his millions for The Walking Dead. You see what I'm saying? But most B-list actors who do television are B-list actors. They're not A-list actors. They're not respected in the industry. They're respected in the industry because they do television, but they're not as respected because they're not big movie stars. They're doing small screen television. They're B-list actors. They may think they're A-list actors, but they're not. If you look, man, if you can't land, if you're not a big movie star, you're not an A-list actor. You're a B-list actor. You're a Hollywood actor. You're successful, but you're not an A-list actor. In my opinion, you're a B-list actor. I guarantee you someone will think, no, I'm an A-list actor, right? Okay, fine. You can think you're an A-list actor all if you want, but if you can't land big budget roles, how are you an A-list actor? You're not an A-list actor. You're a B-list actor. You're doing television small screen, and you're only making like 400, 500K. You're not an A-list actor. Some say, you're not an A-list actor. you are not an A-list actor, right? Yeah. So even those actors on from who did Game of Thrones, Vikings, all these medieval movies, right? You know what I'm saying? Amazon Rings, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. They're all going to be sending in their resumes. They're reels for my movie. They all movies are Batman. But most of my actors I have chosen. So sorry guys, most of my actors I have chosen, but there's still a spot open for what for the other roles, obviously. All going to be sending in the reels. Those actors in Hollywood, man, that's been crazy. All the working actors are going to be sending in the reels for my movie. That's been crazy, man. Because they want to be saved and they want to be in my movie so bad. They want to experience that fame with King Ivan and Queen Vijay. They don't want to be left behind. As once I start, by the time I start Skyscrapers, the Amazon Rings of Power show should be ending. Will be ending, or it'll be on like its final season around there. Because I heard there's Amazon is signed on to do 5 seasons, so that's 5 years from now. 4 more years. 4 years from now is 2026. Yeah, by then I should be king. And 2026, 2027 around, I'll be starting Sky Source around there. 2025, 2026, 2027 around there should be when I start Sky Source. So by then, the Amazon show will be ending, obviously. It's all those actors who did Rings of Power are going to be setting in the reels for Zanus, my last for Zanus. Who, yeah, this has been crazy. This has been crazy, yeah, man. You're all going to be setting in the reels. I told you, your chances of being in my movie is not high, man. As there's thousands of working actors in Hollywood. I don't know, Zanus only has like 40 characters. It's your chances is what? I don't know, 0.01%. It's not high, man. It's not high you can cast my movie. And most of my Zanus actors are chosen. But I told you, even though most of my Zanus actors are chosen, I'm going to have some of them compete for the job. I'm going to have John Maea compete with Daniel Kaluuya for the role of Tacitus. I'll have Yvonne Georgia compete with that other guy. Have them come and read. I'll have Don compete with Vigo for the role of Meramis. But something tells me I'll choose Don Cheadle over Vigo, to be honest. I think Don Cheadle's better for Meramis than Vigo, but I mean, Peter Jackson might push for Vigo. I even go with Vigo because he's biased, obviously. He worked with Vigo in Lord of the Rings. He might be biased. I even choose Vigo, you know what I'm saying? And John Farrell Nicholas might tell me, I even choose Don. I think Don's better for Meramis than Vigo. Who do you picture more as Meramis? I picture Don a bit more as Meramis, but I can also picture Vigo as Meramis too. You know what I'm saying? He has that youthful look. He's a badass archer. I can picture him as Meramis, obviously. He's really good for Meramis too, Vigo. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see how much older Vigo is. Holy shit, Vigo looks so much older. Yeah, he's almost 70. It's like 69 when he films the movie, and in Lord of the Rings he was like in his early 40s. Yeah, he's much older. Almost 30 years older, yeah. Obviously. Yeah, man, look at something crazy for the reels for Zanus. Everyone in Hollywood is gonna be sending in the reels for Zanus. Something crazy. All gonna be sending in the reels for Zanus. You're looking at something crazy for Zanus, yeah, man. Something crazy. You're looking at something crazy for Zanus, man. Really, Ivan? Yeah, something crazy for the buzz of Zanus. Crazy for the casting calls and crazy for the buzz. It was been crazy for Zanus, man. Looking at like all the Hollywood actors saying in the reels, obviously. I told you most of them I have pretty much chosen. I'm gonna have them compete for the role, obviously. Yvonne Georgia, I'll have him compete with the guy who did Slumdog Millionaire for the role of Papyri. I might have Ariana Grande compete with Zoe King for the role of Belle. And I'll have Bernard Hill compete with John Rice Davis for the role of Eli. And Carl Urban, I'll have him compete. Carl Urban's my first choice, but I want to see the Anunzo actor read too. I want him reading for the part two. See who's better for the role. Some Sarah. I want him reading for the part two. See who's better for the role. honestly. But chances are I'm going to choose Carl Urban over the Nonzo guy. But I might choose because I think he's really good for Cornelius. Cornelius is in his like late 40s. Carl Urban is like 50 now, so by then he'll be like in his late 50s. Yeah, he's perfect for the role of Cornelius. He'll look more youthful. He's really good for the role of Cornelius, but you're gonna see how much older he is. Because in Lord of the Rings, he was like 30 years old back then. He was like my age now, and now Carl Urban's like 50 years old. He's much older than he was in Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, he was a kid, man. He was 30 years old. He was so young, and now he's like 50. By the time he films the movie, he'll be in his late 50s, like 57 or whatever it is, 58. Holy shit, Carl Urban looks so much older. Yeah, because it's like 30 years late. It's 30 years since Lord of the Rings. It's been a long time, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'll have Don compete with Vigo for the role of Maramis. John Boyega, I'll have him compete with Daniel Kaluuya for the role of Tessitonius. Have Daniel Kaluuya read for the part. So all my first choice guys, I'll fly them into Vancouver and have them read in the studio, obviously. And I'll have the doc guy film it, and I'm gonna look over the reels with Peter. And then all the other guys who are my other options, just have them send in reels. And have your team look at the reels. And me and Peter discuss who we think is best for the role. But chances are most of the guys who I chose are the chosen actors. But I might make a few changes. I might choose Vigo over Don, perhaps. The only people who pretty much got the job are Idris Elba and what's his name? Idris Elba, Danielle Minette. I can't picture anyone else better for the role for Mary than Danielle Minette. So Danielle Minette, Idris Elba, and Andy Serkis got the job. And Angelina Bassett. I can't picture anyone else better to play Queen Sarah than Angelina Bassett. She plays the Queen of Wakanda in Black Panther. She's perfect to play the role of my mother. And that's why I think she's good for the role. Her, Andy Serkis, yeah, and Djimon Hounsou. Djimon Hounsou, I can't picture anyone else better for the role than Cassius and him too. Those guys pretty much got the job. Was all the other guys? I could picture other people playing the role. Whereas those like 5 guys pretty much got the job. Like Idris Elba got the job. I can't picture anyone else better to play the role than my father than him. Andy Serkis is Andy Serkis. Peter Jackson, don't even waste your time with Andy Serkis for the role of Job. Andy Serkis is Andy Serkis, man. No one's like him, Ivan. You know what I'm saying? He's perfect for Job, Ivan. Yeah, hence why I'm not going to waste my time with Andy Serkis. He got the job. I was perfect for the role of my father. I saw him in Marvel. He's perfect for the role of my father with the beard. Kind of looks like me, yeah. Angelina Bassett's perfect for the role of my mother. I can't picture anyone else better for the role than her playing the role of my mother. Obviously. And what? Yeah. Who else? Yeah. Obviously. Yeah, so my last Silver Saints movie project will be based off my novel that I wrote. I'm now 300 pages into my book, guys. I'm almost done. I have like 144 pages left. 145 pages left, and I'm done my book. I'm done editing my book. Now I have to go over it again, obviously. But the second time when I go over my book, it'll be very fast because everything's already edited. We just have to go over the book for typos, that kind of stuff. For typos, pretty much. Whereas the grammar is all pretty much, it's all edited. It's all fully edited. The sentence structures, the grammar, all edited. Because my younger said brother has his degree in, he has his degree. He took English in university. Hence what? He knows his grammar very well. Hence why I was lucky enough to have him work on it. Obviously, I'm 300 pages into my book. Almost done, guys. Yeah, I'll be done. I don't know. Early next year, I'll be done editing my whole book. Around, I don't know, February maybe, I'll be done. End of February next year, I'll be 2023, I'll be done editing my book. And I'll be going over it again. And once I go over it the second time, my book is now fully edited. All I have to do is just get it copyrighted. My book's already copyrighted, but my step parents are weird people. You need to get it officially copyrighted, Ivan. Okay, fine. I have to get it copyrighted and what? And my book is ready to do something. Hence, 2024, guys, will be the year I pay the fee, man. Paying the fee, yeah. 2024 will be the year I pay the fee. Obviously. Yeah. So my Zayn's my first movie will be Last Hope for Zanus. And then if I don't do the Matrix trilogy, I'll be doing The Great Escape after the Zanus. And then I'll do Their Unique, the beautiful, the amazing romance story, obviously. And then I'll do the Hidden Vampire movie, and I'll end it off with the Western gangster movie. I'll end it off with that. If I don't do The Great Escape, I will do the Matrix trilogy after Zanus. But somebody tells me I'm going to end up just doing the 5 movies, to be honest. Because the Matrix trilogy, I have to purchase the rights off Warner Bros. And Warner Bros. Has to agree to sell off the rights. If they're not interested in selling off the rights, I will not do the Matrix trilogy. You see what I'm saying? Because even though I want to do that Matrix trilogy so bad, I also want to do that Great Escape movie badly too, with Keanu Reeves and all them. They got an amazing movie for that. Unless a couple they can't find jobs and they get we sign a contract with the devil pretty much. We work in the company, we're rich, we're living a good life, and all of a sudden we find out some of our friends are missing. You know what I'm saying? And then what? And we find out the company's dirty. There's no getting out of the company alive. Once you're in, you can never get out. There's no getting out. Either you work for the company, you try to get out, they kill you. And so we signed a deal with the devil, obviously, Ben Affleck, obviously. And they're a big ass company. We are the lucky couple who escaped this organization. That's why I'm going to call it The Great Escape. It's an amazing story. And the Keanu Reeves, all of them are evil people. They're evil villains in the movie. You know how Keanu Reeves is badass in John Wick? Yeah. He's badass. He kicks ass. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's an amazing movie for that. Hence why, and I'm also going to turn it into a game too. Unreal Engine 5 game. Look, think something like A Way Out, something like that. Though with the game I played a couple years ago, think of a game like that. It was something amazing. Look at something amazing. Yeah, man. You're looking at something amazing, yeah, man. Look at something amazing. Yeah, man. But even though the Great Escape movie will be amazing, or the Matrix trilogy, it will not be as good as the Zanus story. You know what I'm saying? Zanus is a masterpiece. But the Great Escape, you can argue, might be more entertaining than Zanus. It might be a more entertaining. The Great Escape might be a more entertaining movie than Zanus, but Zanus is a better story in quality, better quality story. But the Great Escape might be slightly more entertaining because it's nonstop action. Me and John Norman kicking ass in the Modernheimer Secret Agents. It'll be cooler seeing me and Zane in the Great Escape than Zanus, because in Zanus I'm in a fantasy world speaking old English, whereas in the Great Escape you see me and VJ in modern times, in Italy, New York, where badass agents were kicking ass. You see me in the Matrix as the one kicking ass. I'm saying it's cooler seeing me in a modern time, but the story's not better. Zanus is a better story. I'm saying. Zanus is a better story. I'll talk for a good, like, I don't know, 37 minutes and I'll end the video here. I don't feel like talking for a full video, guys. I'll make another 30-minute video and I'll end the video here. And when I wake up, I'll upload it later on today, around, I don't know, 11, 12 o'clock when I wake up. I'll wake up probably around 2, 3, 4, and I'll upload it probably a couple hours earlier. Because usually when I sleep, I pass out and I wake up like around maybe 12, 11, and I go back to bed and I sleep for a couple more hours. So when I wake up again, I'll just upload the video for you guys to watch. Yeah. So my Zanus movie I'll make for $985 million. So this is the biggest budget movie ever made, guys, in movie history. Put $400 million plus towards CGI special effects for the worldbuilding, the action sequences, and the horror of the demon wolves and bats. Yeah, if you thought the orcs in the Rings of Power I find very cheesy. They're not scary at all. You know what I'm saying? I think Amazon did a bad job with the orcs, and they're a different race of orcs thousands of years ago in the Second Age, whatever it is, first, Second Age, whatever it is. I found the orcs look very cheesy in Rings of Power. And in the Lord of the Rings, but Peter, even though I want them to wear costumes and masks, I don't want them to wear the kind of costumes and masks that the orcs in Rings of Power and your Lord of the Rings wore. No. Otherwise, the movie won't be as good. No. Have them wear more professional masks. That'll be an animal. That way they look more real. They look much better. They look like they're demons, like the ring wraiths in Lord of the Rings. They're scary like that. The ring wraiths look very natural, but they look very amazing too. Yeah, they look more natural, but they look very amazing because I applied so much money towards special effects. So $400+ million towards special effects, $30 million towards sets, $37 million towards costumes, armor, and weapons, machining for creating the prosthetic mask, obviously, $35 million towards extras. That's all going towards the movie. That's what the $565 million are. So I'm going to put $985 million towards the movie. Obviously, 985. So $10 million towards the doc. 410 towards salaries. And 565 towards the movie. That's $985 million. So $565 million is going all towards the three movies. That's the budget of the movie. The buffet, you know what I'm saying? Salaries. The $565 million is going towards the movie. The $410 million is going towards salaries, paying all the crewmen and all the actors. And the 565 is going towards funding the movie project. The sections I just mentioned, as well as the food, the trailers, the portable bathrooms, you know what I'm saying, portable showers, you know what I'm saying, portable laundry machines. It's all going towards the movie, obviously. So I'm saying, yeah, that's why I look at the best movie choice ever made. I'm going to be honest here. Even though I believe Zane's will be better than Lord of the Rings, there's some people who might like Lord of the Rings better. I'm just being honest here. Because Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece. I think Zane's and Lord of the Rings are going to be very, very close. I'm not going to be cocky and say Zane's will beat it out by a lot. No. It'll be very, very close. It'll be very, very close. But I think Zane's will top it by a slim margin. But it'll be very close because Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece. Peter Jackson did an amazing job for that movie, man. Lord of the Rings is a cinematic masterpiece. I'm saying. I watched the movie a couple months ago. I watched Fellowship of the Ring. I watched Two Towers twice again. For some reason, Return of the King I can't watch, but Fellowship of the Ring and Two Towers I can rewatch them over and over again. They're fucking amazing movies. With Return of the King I can't watch that much times. I don't like it as much as the other two. I guess because the journey ends, that's why I don't like it that much. Because the journey ends, King Theoden dies. I'm saying it's sad, man. It looks that scene. It's sad. Frodo and Sam and all stuff. It's sad. It's the end. I'm saying hence why I don't like Return of the King as much as the other two movies. See what I'm saying? Yeah. So the $985 million will be going towards funding. It'll go towards funding what? Funding the last Hope for Zane's movie project. Salaries, obviously, you know what I'm saying, everything going towards the movie. The flights, the hotel party, the red carpet event for my movie, yeah, it's all going towards it. You see what I'm saying? The photography studio equipment for the professional magazine ad shoots on my website, the 4K case covers and the posters, that's all going towards the weekly character ad shoots the fourth year while filming takes place. Which on my website, that's all going towards it. The commercial, I'll put a good 100K towards my 6 commercials. It'll be paid through the $565 million budget. It's more than enough money. So I'll do nice professional commercials for my company, for my website. The actors get featured on the commercials. You pay the actors for it. Pay them a good $10,000 each. $10,000 per commercial. It's a good paycheck for the actors. Nice paycheck for the actors. If they want like more money, I'm like, guys, I'm not gonna pay you like $100,000 for a fucking commercial to rip me off. No, like $10,000 is realistically speaking, I should be paying like I don't know $1,000 for this, and I'm paying you $10,000. So that's good pocket money for yourself. You use this money to pay for your phone bill. You can go to the bar with your castmates. You know, I gave you a good fucking deal. All going towards the movie project, $95 million. And to your shock, he's like, holy shit, Ivan, $985 million. This is the biggest budget ever made, Ivan, in movie history, Ivan. No movies ever made for this money before, yeah. The Amazon Rings of Power show was made for $1 billion, but they put $1 billion towards 5 seasons. So it's not even close to the kind of quality my movie will be. As I'm making the 3 movies for $95 million, whereas Amazon is making 5 seasons for a total of $1 billion. See what I'm saying? And don't forget, that all includes salaries and all that stuff. Whereas me, $565 million is going towards the movie that does not include salaries. That's why I like it's something unheard of from my movie, man. Like revolutionary technology, better than Pandora, Peter Jackson's Middle Earth. Yeah, the one thing Zanes will beat out. The one thing Zanes will blow. The one thing about Zanes that will blow Lord of the Rings out of the water is the technology. The technology, the world building, the action sequences, and the horror of the wolves is going to blow Lord of the Rings out of the water because I poured way more money towards the movie. Whereas in terms of story and quality of story, and quality of story will be very close. As Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece of a story. See what I'm saying? I'm going to be honest here. Lord of the Rings will be very, very close to Zanus. Because Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece. Peter Jackson wrote and directed a masterpiece. See what I'm saying? As I watched Lord of the Rings, I'm blown away. Yeah, man, this is a masterpiece. Yeah, it's a fucking masterpiece. Lord of the Rings has some problems, obviously. CGI problems. You know, in terms of story, the story was almost perfect. But in terms of CGI and some editing, they had issues, obviously. But it's a masterpiece of a story. Lord of the Rings. See what I'm saying? Yeah, man. And Peter will have that smile on his face because I gave him an unlimited budget. Mel Gibson will have that smile on his face because I gave him an unlimited budget. Yeah. So Peter, I'm willing to pay him 85 million base, which is like 100, I don't know, 6 million in New Zealand money. That's a good paycheck for Peter Jackson. And I'll give him 0.6% of the profits or a flat $415 million off the royalties. And then Mel Gibson, I'll pay him 58 million base, give him 0.5, or I'll give him a flat $270 million off the profits for the royalties. It's a good deal for Mel Gibson and Peter Jackson. If they want more money on my guys, I'm not paying them more money. This is my final offer. Peter, I know you're greedy. You want like $700 of royalties. I'm not gonna give you that. You're fucking crazy. You're getting greedy, Peter. If I give you $600, $700 million of royalties, Peter, you're now affecting my 1%. I'm only giving about 1% of my money away to all my stars, my 17 and you. It's not just about you. You have to think about stars. I just give all the money to me. I'm like, no, Peter. I'm not going to give all the money to you. It's not just about you. You have to think about the other people too. It's not just about you. Jon Favreau deserves his $100 million. He's my fucking CEO. Dave Filoni deserves his $45 million. Ryan Coogler deserves his, I don't know, his $45 million. Joe Russo, Anthony Russo deserve their like $50 million, $48 million. They deserve a piece of money too. It's not just about you, man. They need to get paid too. It's not just about you, Peter. Stop being greedy. Stop being greedy, Peter. I'm saying. Stop being greedy, Peter. Being greedy, stop it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because guaranteed Peter will try and push for something crazy like a $900 billion like of the role, $700, $800 million of the role. He's like, Peter, you're fucking crazy. I'm not gonna pay you that. If I give you that, you're now affecting my 1%. I can no longer afford to pay John his money and Dave Filoni and my 7 team and the actors because you took all the money. All the money went to you. You know what I'm saying? Peter, why do you like to do this? Why do you like taking all the money for yourself and leaving it else? Because I don't know why. Because I'm greedy. Yeah, you're greedy. Stop thinking about yourself and think about others, Peter. It's not just about you. Shamar Cavier.